Martha Stewart, the goddess of home decor and events, has weighed in on Meghan Markle and also Gwyneth Paltrow, for whom she had nice words. But when she took a turn to Ms. Markle, it sounded a little different. That is such a classic and effective Martha Stewart burn. She's like, the other is a know-nothing faker who's just glomming onto me and my brand, which, by the way, Maureen Callahan and I discovered firsthand, Glenn, when we did our parody of Meghan's stupid Netflix show, trying to make herself into the next Martha Stewart. And we realized her one-pot pasta is just a blatant ripoff of Martha Stewart's one-pot pasta, which turned out to be like one of her most famous recipes. And it's honestly just like an unabashed ripoff. I'm sure Martha's heard about it and is probably like, who is this fool trying to imitate that she's me, as she, out of the other side of her mouth, complains about how her castle is too small.
It's funny, I was going to do my pitch for Maureen Callahan because, as you know, I don't want to say she's my favorite program on YouTube because I have one, you have one, and it's not really political, but she is my favorite program on YouTube because she's the best cultural commentator I've ever seen. So hilarious, so cutting about the people who deserve it. But I also want to say, just tying into our other conversation, there's a documentary on Martha Stewart about her prosecution on Netflix, came out a couple months ago, that I really encourage people to watch because it was a completely unjust prosecution driven by one James Comey, who decided he was hell-bent on putting her in prison for no reason, simply to aggrandize his own career and his own image to rise in politics. And it's really worth watching for the Jim Comey angle. But yeah, Martha Stewart sees exactly what Meghan Markle is. And one of the things I love about Martha Stewart is she's very blunt and has never hidden what she thinks. But it's very subtle. She's very good at that. And you walk away understanding exactly what she thinks.
I think I'm in love with her because she also trolled the Blue Origin crew after they went up there and literally wanted us to call them astronauts. And that was my inspo for my trolling that I did with Maureen and my stylist and friend Sarah, where we went up on our own space flight, quote unquote, and also became, quote, astronauts. Because Martha trolled them by posting her own zero gravity flight. And she's like, hey, let's not forget about this. She's pretty savage, Martha Stewart. And she knows a loser when she sees one. I want to tell you this. With Love, Meghan, that stupid program on Netflix, failed to rank among Netflix's top 300 most watched titles between January and June. The New York Post, confirmed Markle's 8-part series ranked 383rd with just 5.3 million views since it debuted on March 4th. 5.3 million. I've got clips of you, Glenn Greenwald, that have more than that on our feed. It's crazy how low that was. Harry's show Polo, also on Netflix, was watched by only 500,000 people. It's at number 3,436. Losers, enjoy Montecito.
Martha Stewart, the woman who built an empire on elegance, authenticity, and credibility, just called out Meghan Markle's so-called lifestyle brand for what it really is, a PR stunt wrapped in buzzwords. She reportedly said Meghan's attempt to become a modern, domestic goddess feels forced, artificial, and opportunistic. Translation: Martha sees through the act. Even journalist Glenn Greenwald weighed in, pointing out that Martha's criticism hits deeper than gossip. It's about authenticity versus fabrication. Greenwald said what everyone's thinking. Meghan doesn't actually live the lifestyle she's selling. It's all branding, no substance. A desperate attempt to stay relevant in Hollywood after the royal fallout. Let's be honest, Meghan's so-called brand, American Riviera Orchard, was dead on arrival. The jars of jam and vague luxury items were mocked relentlessly online. People said it looked more like an Instagram influencer gimmick than a real business. And now, when someone like Martha Stewart, who's built credibility for decades, calls her out? That's game over. This moment marks a bigger shift in Hollywood. Meghan's not just losing favor with the public, she's losing respect from industry icons. When women like Martha Stewart publicly distance themselves, it sends a clear message. Meghan's brand is toxic and her reputation as an opportunist is catching up with her. Some insiders say Meghan's trying to pivot again, maybe into wellness or luxury design, but after this humiliation she's facing an uphill battle. Martha Stewart just said what the rest of Hollywood has been whispering for months. Martha Stewart doesn't throw shade for fun, she speaks from authority. And when she says your lifestyle brand is fake, it's time to rethink everything. Meghan Markle wanted to be America's next Martha. Instead, she's become her cautionary tale.